That's a brilliant question, and you get right at the part that was the hardest, because I want to write the story. I don't want everybody playing around with what I can write, and the book is a book that. Let me start again. The PEI Literacy Alliance asked, would I come up with ideas for a book to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the 1864 conference? And they wanted to put an application to the 2014 committee to be funded. And so it's a commissioned book, and we were fully funded, and it was a big project. In fact, we were the project that was named at the big unveiling of big projects. One of the projects, I should say. I shouldn't take all that credit. And the only way that I could muster a story was to go to ground level to see what children, and the target age was like grade 3, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there, for go to ground level and see what children that age saw. And so that readers could get an inkling of what it would be like. It's too hard for little kids now to imagine themselves 150 years ago. And so I balked really at telling the history. And I had to overcome that. In fact, the first draft, I had to pull my socks up a little bit with the publisher. And add in some more bits, historical bits. The truth of the story is that people on the ground didn't know very much about Confederation. And it was the circus was far more interesting and more important. And there happened to be a cricket match, a grudge match, and there was a special cricket boat from Nova Scotia that brought a couple hundred cricket fans in. So there's a circuit, all the rooms were taken up. The delegates to this conference, some of them couldn't find room at the hotels because the circus. So I don't know if I'm really answering this exactly, but the way I got around the civic participation and awareness or collaboration in the project was to tell a story that involved a family that had to service. It's set in a livery stable to service the delegates, among others, and so they got to see what was going on. And I've placed the livery stable in view of Province House. I did a whole summer worth of research to do this book. And then something I know from other books that I've written and other research about island history, I knew that island painter Robert Harris, the one who painted the Fathers of Confederation, they painted that from, was a boy in 1864, and I knew that Robert Harris played in the band. Robert Harris was a painter. I mean, even when he was little, he was always carrying around a sketchbook. He was always sketching. But he also played in the Charlottetown Brass Band, and he played a horn, a cornet. And I also knew from a letter that his mother wrote back home to Liverpool that Robert Harris had played for the Grand Banquet and Ball, and that the delegates had told him to stuff his pockets with good things to eat. And so his mother said, and Robert came home with all these delicacies. So I had Robert be friends with the kids who are the main characters of my story, and told the story also using what Robert sees, and Robert Harris sees. And so the story is about 5,000 words, 48-page picture book. And Brenda Jones, Lobster in My Pocket artist, is illustrating it. She has, I can show you one of her illustrations and the drafts of them, of the others. And the title is Born, a Foal, 5 Kittens, and Confederation. So the main action of the story is the mare who's going to give birth to a foal.